These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Monday, May 13th, after Celtics Cavs Game 4. Celtics win 109-102, 7-point win, their lowest margin of victory of the postseason. But a win is a win, as they say. Celtics pull it out. No Donovan Mitchell, no Jared Allen. Cavs tested the Celtics because what else would happen? Of course,
that's the way it works.
Celtics brought home the victory, though. Jayson Tatum, 33, 11, and 5. Jaylen Brown, 27 and 8. Jrue Holiday, another big game, 16 points on 4 of 8 from 3. Pritchard made 3 threes as well. Meanwhile, Garland exploded for 30 points, 12 of 27 and 4, 13 from 3. Max Strus gave him 5 threes as well, much to Sam's chagrin. Karis LeVert also had 19. Evan Mobley, 19 as well. Celtics brought home the win, but it wasn't without the stress.
Yeah, this was the ultimate Sam wrote the script game. Two of the Celtics blog articles I did about this series were Max Strus and LeVert. Oh my God, I can't believe the Celtics had to fucking play these guys again. And they combined for 34 points. And then I wrote the one that went up this morning about Pritchard having brass balls. And he had one of the most impressive stretches in this game, probably eclipsed by the Holiday stretch in the fourth quarter. But end of the third quarter, makes a couple free throws, 6 step back 3, brings the lead back to 10 before the final horn. Overall, this was a really weird game. It was a roller coaster game. I was saying to my dad before Jack and I started recording here, I feel like the Celtics played some of their best basketball in the playoffs, certain stretches of this game. Certain stretches of this game, I wanted to put my head in the microwave and then when I was done, go dive off my deck. Just very polarizing Celtics game. I thought they started really, really well after they gave up the initial 8-2 stretch from Cleveland, punched back with a crisp 19-2 run, championship-esque response, gets the second quarter, and they're just like, we're not going to close the door on this one. No. And they go into the half, only up 5. Cleveland had cut it to 1. Then they come out of the half, like, even worse. They're like, Tatum's free turnover, and then Mobley dunks it. And I was like, maybe they're going to lose this game. Maybe they're going to lose it. Mentioned the Pritchard stretch at the end of the quarter. Mentioned the Jrue stretch at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Jaylen had a decent start to the fourth, too. He put them up 15, and then they went 5 minutes. 5 minutes without a field goal. Not what you want to see in this game. But they did it. They won their first clutch game of the season. After those 5 minutes, Tatum comes off a nice screen, hits Jaylen for an open 3, sends LeBron packing, sent them home.
Yeah, I thought the Celtics were shit. I thought they were really bad. I don't think they were good at all. They had like stretches, like you mentioned, like after Joe called that first time out. But I thought this was a really bad game, and the fact that they won it anyways is obviously a good thing. But I thought the offense looked horrible. They had 38 field goals and only 15 assists. They only took 78 shots and 32 threes. Cavs took 16 more shots and 16 more threes than them. You shouldn't win that game. They did a good job of being aggressive. They got to the line 24 times, made 21 of them. So, like, that's huge. It's the only reason they won the game, and I credit them for that. They had some big offensive rebounds. They had 10. That was good as well. But they also turned the ball over 14 times, and they weren't just, like, normal turnovers. Like, they handed the ball to the Cavs. Like, they were terrible turnovers. Joe Mazzulla, after the game, had a quote, and everyone, like, laughed at him. But he was like, no, I'm fucking serious. And so Adam Himmelsbach asked Joe Mazzulla, so you just cleaned up the turnovers in the second half. What was the key to that? And he said, I transcribed it. He said, just passing the guys to the guys with the green jerseys. That's poise. That's the most poise you can have. And then Adam Himmelsbach is like following up and he goes, literally, just pass. And Adam's like, so that's what you said, that we're not poised if we're not passing to each other? And Joe goes, yes. And like balls are getting deflected and thrown out of bounds and just like pass. It's that simple. I'm being dead serious. Just stay spaced, make the right pass. I know, I'm sorry, I'm not coming off that way, but I'm being serious. Like he was just so serious, like just fucking pass the ball to the people in the green jerseys. And the Celtics didn't do that. There were offensive foul turnovers. They were literally passing it out of bounds turnovers. Pritchard dribbled it off his foot one time. Like they were just playing sloppy basketball and gave the Cavs a window to get in this game. I thought the defense was rough at times. I don't think they closed out on Max Strus quick enough in transition. Joe had 2 fucking angry timeouts where Max Strus just waltzed into a transition 3 and he had to call a timeout and he was getting pissed. They give up 2 to Sam Merrill that were butt naked wide open in the first half. Darius Garland got a couple that were way too easy off the pick and roll. Drop coverage looked really bad in this game, and they're still going to it. Don't know why the fuck they're not playing Tillman. Bobby Manning tried to ask about it before the game, and Joe just like denied him. He like asked the question. Joe just goes, "What was your question?" And he goes like something about like to get Al rest, and Joe goes, "Al's fine," and that's it. It was period. At the end of the question. There's
Buddy,
nothing.
are you watching the same games that we're watching? I
Dude,
don't think he's
it is.
fine.
I think you credit the Celtics for how they were aggressive and they overcame the Cavs' defensive adjustments to basically take the 3-point game out of the equation. Celtics made fucking 12 threes in this game. That's got to be like top 5 fewest they've made in a game all season. But I credit the Celtics for staying aggressive and finding ways around that of scoring. I thought Jayson Tatum was pretty good. Not from the 3, but from inside the arc. I thought Jaylen Brown did a good job of that as well. Same thing with Jrue Holiday. But the Celtics made 38 shots in this game. You don't win many of those games. Like, credit to them for winning it, but I thought they looked like shit.
Can't wait for the box score Twitter people to get their hands on this and be like, Adam Silver put in the call, 24 free throws for the Celtics, just 7 for Cleveland.
They earned them. They earned them. They were the more aggressive team. This is the reason that teams usually shoot more free throws than the Celtics and the Warriors. Like the Warriors don't take any free throws, like the Dynasty Warriors, because they took so many threes. That's what the Cavs did tonight. And the Celtics said, okay, you're going to take away 3. We're going to be aggressive and get inside. And they did that. And Max Strus is the most fucking dumb complainer I've ever seen. He'll fucking castrate Jaylen Brown and they go, what do you mean? I didn't do anything. Like, come on. Like, give me a break.
LeBron must have been impressed. Like Max Strus was palms up in front of the palms up goat. That is history that you got to see with your own eyes today. To go back to Max Strus, I did tweet out the King Rat picture when we went to Vegas and they had the Christmas setup with the rat in the crown. So there's a little Max Strus love. Tatum, really good Tatum game. I thought Tatum had great stretches in this game. He came out, set the tone after Cleveland goes up. When Cleveland got close, I think it was the second quarter. Maybe it was in the third. I'm trying to think. It was the second because they were shooting on the right side of the screen. He has Luke 2 great pick and rolls with Luke.
Yeah.
And it was like Cleveland had just cut to 1. Tatum takes control of the game, and he does it without taking difficult shots or shots at all. He just made the right read. He put pressure on the defense. They crushed. They wilted, and they gave Luke an open dunk twice. I was just so happy with the decision making from him throughout this game. There were a couple iffy. There was one where it was the fourth quarter, I think, and maybe it was the third, and he was at the nail, and it was one of those I am shooting this no matter what possessions from Tatum. But besides that, I really thought he was pretty good in this game. I know he had 4 turnovers. A couple of them were early.
Yeah.
And there was the one out of the break. But overall, these 2 games have been a great, like, hey, look at me response from Tatum.
And for what it's worth, Tatum made 2 big shots at the start of the fourth quarter too. 2 tough middies, like the ones he wasn't making yesterday in the fourth. He made a couple of those. So
2
I thought that was good.
Business shots from Tatum.
And the play you mentioned that sent LeBron home was what they should have been doing the whole fucking game. Like that's all you need to do. Like, why aren't we parlaying our aggressiveness into open threes? and I get, and I don't want this to sound, because I do think there's a balance. Like, credit the Cavs. The Cavs have done a good job of taking the 3-pointer away. And you can't just say, just do that, because the Cavs have made it their point to take that away. And I think the Celtics can work harder and have the ability to get back to playing the offense that can get them threes. But you have to also acknowledge that the Cavs are actively trying to take that away. And so I think if the Celtics worked a little harder, they should be able to get to more of those drive and kick threes, like the drive and kick game. I tweeted, let me find it here. Midway through the game, I tweeted about the offense. I said, Celtics offense has looked really rough the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Way too much mismatch hunting, not enough ball movement / off ball activity. It's why their 3-point attempts are down. Can't get outshot from free by this Cavs team. Richard White DMs me that tweet and says the timeline demanded it. Basically, like, oh, the timeline's getting their witch, no threes. And we just had like a back and forth. Like, people take threes and they make it into this, like, all the responses I got to that tweet were, it's not a bad thing. They're shooting 60% from the field. They're winning. Like, that's a good thing. And someone else said, I'm not sure why it's the bad thing we're taking less threes. We're shooting 60% and won the game. And one game 3, I'd say we should be shooting more. But if it's working, not going to go against it. And then another one, it's not the offense that's the problem tonight. They're allowing the Cavs to take 25 threes in a single half. That's a defensive issue. And I agree that. But like, it's not. Celtics won game 3 and will win game 4. This is not a bad trend. This is playoff basketball. Someone tell Missoula to pipe down and watch Jayson Tatum play ball. Buddy, that is not what needs to happen.
I never want that. I never want to watch Jayson Tatum just play ball on his own.
I want to see Jayson Tatum use quote unquote Jayson Tatum playing ball and move it into a drive and kick 3 like he did with Jaylen Brown. I want to see Jaylen Brown use his aggressiveness and kick it out to Al Horford who's struggling. But like, they can get open threes that way. And it just feels like if they're working a little harder, they can get there. That said, credit them for their aggressiveness and the way that they were able to get to the free throw line so many times and overcome the fact that the Cavs chased them off the 3-point line. So it is a balance, but I really haven't liked the offense these last 2 games.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the 3-pointers are an important little level up that they get because they're getting the math boost too. It really helps them be one of the top offenses. However, I was impressed in this game. Again, for stretches, there were, the 5-minute without a field goal stretch in the fourth quarter that'll make you sweat. You don't love to see it. But there were great stretches in this game that they just forced the issue and they got to the line when things weren't going well. Like, even during that 5-minute stretch, they did score a few times from the line. They got themselves to the stripe, got easy looks, and actually made them. Jaylen, 7 of 9. Big boy game from him at the free throw line. Shout out. And I think that's 7 of 7 after the first 2. So even more props to him. He's been pretty decent in these spots in the playoffs. But yeah, it's different watching them play this way, but I'm happy to see that they're able to win despite that. I agree with you that it is important to win the math battle. And the way they've won games all season has been through the math battle. And they've also won games this season defense first. And in the first half, you saw a ton of that. They got stops. At the beginning of the game, Cleveland was turning the ball over just as much as the Celtics were. And the Celtics got out, ran, and made them pay. So if they can get going on defense, I trust the offense will fall into place regardless of the threes. But if all else fails, you do hope to have the math advantage in your back pocket. Absolutely.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch all the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000 with basketball, hockey, college basketball entries today on Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. One of our favorite picks here at the How About Them Celtics podcast is the Jrue Holiday blocks. It's usually 0.5. He just needs more than 0.5 blocks. That means 1 Jrue Holiday block. And that pick is in the bag. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. You want to talk about math? So the Celtics have only had 15 games this season, playoffs and regular season combined, where they've taken 38 or fewer threes. They are 5-10 in those games.
Yep.
5-10 in those games, not including tonight. That means of the 18 games they've lost this season, 10 of them was when they took 38 or fewer shots. And the Celtics took 38 or fewer shots tonight and won the fucking game. So I think that's something. They only have done that one other time this playoffs, and it was game. I don't know which game against Miami this was. That was game 4 against Miami. They only made 36 shots, but the Heat only made 35, and so they won. But the Cavs made more shots than the Celtics in this game. They made 3 more shots, and they made 3 more threes. That is a what? They had a 9-point advantage on field goals alone. And the Celtics overcame it with free throws and aggressiveness. And so credit to them for that. Credit to them for the second chance opportunities. Credit to Tatum for being aggressive and making plays in big spots, like you mentioned. Credit to Jaylen Brown for using his aggressiveness, making his threes as well. I feel like I'm saying the same shit over and over again. Can we please play Tillman? Like I don't get it. I don't get it. It doesn't make
You
any
think
sense.
this
That's
was a
all we've
Tillman
talked
game?
about up here. I don't give a fuck what game it is. Just please, God, give this man Al Horford some rest. He's just
Okay,
not. He
all right.
can't do it. He
I was gonna
can't
say
do it right
Kornet
now.
was awesome. Like Kornet had best guy on the floor stretches in this game to me. Even though somehow he was a
Yeah.
-4, he was awesome in the first half. He was all over the offensive glass. He was converting putbacks. He had very, very consistent looks underneath. What did he finish the game? 4 or 5, yeah. He just looked dominant at times. Evan Mobley didn't have an answer for him. He had a couple good contests on Mobley too. Like I was excited watching Kornet play today. I was like at a crossroads. I was like, is this the Kornet overtaking of Horford?
Yeah, Kornet was really good, like you said.
Can't believe it took us 14 minutes to talk about this man. He was a unit.
Yeah. Dude, I tweeted it, and Kari's sitting next to me, so he'll hear me when I say this. I tweeted about Luke Kornet bodying Evan Mobley in the paint for a rebound, and I just said it looks like Kari guarding me the other day. And he retweeted it. But it did, dude. Luke Kornet soared up for that rebound and made Evan Mobley look like a fucking third grader. Kornet was awesome in this game. He deserves a ton of respect for the way he played. And this is like me saying play Tillman isn't saying don't play Kornet more. Play Kornet more. I'm fine if you give Kornet more minutes.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, Horford did only end up playing 28 in this game, largely in thanks to Kornet, so that is a good thing. But man, Horford he's a step slow everywhere, man. He doesn't have his touch. He's
Big
getting
boy
cooked.
block.
I know he had a huge block.
Even the refs didn't
the
believe
challenge, but he just it's not fun to watch, man. We love Al here, and I know you love Al. I know everyone
back.
loves Al. You need it. You need him back. I don't doubt that I'll be back. It's just it's frustrating to see him struggling out there because you know what he's capable of, and it's the Cavs are kind of picking on him.
Al Horford 0 of 10 in game 3 and 4, Celtics 2-0. So they were able to survive it, which is
True.
positive. And hopefully they close it out in 5, and by the time the next series rolls around, he's rested / Porzingis is back.
Yeah, you sent me something, so we're gonna watch this video. I need to say something first. I accidentally left the video playing in another tab while I came back to talk here, and I thought I had tinnitus because it's just like this whirring sound. Like I'm just here. I'm like sitting here. If you notice,
Oh, is that what you were doing with that?
Yeah. I was like, what am I
I
listening?
was like, what the fuck is going on over there?
But,
Has he got his ears ringing from their in arena production?
Yeah, dude. But this game, I don't want to say ref show.
This game, officials are making their presence known. Tweet absolutely.
It didn't matter because I don't think it I mean, Cavs fans are going to say it weighed in the Celtics' favor, but I think it was just a product of the Celtics' aggressiveness and the Cavs' 3-point shots. But this happened. Tyler Ford. So Jaylen Brown. This is from Brian Robb. Yeah. No. He's not the guy that kicked him out. No, that was Evan. Evan something. Yeah. He's an Asian guy. He's an Asian man. I know. His name's Evan something. Now I want to know. NBA ref Evan. Evan Scott. Tyler Ford, though. It's sad that I knew that offhand. Jaylen Brown got very fired up after having to clear out referee Tyler Ford before his clutch 3 with 109 left in the fourth quarter. And Brown talked about this post game. He literally said, let me find this and see if it's transcribed yet. But he wanted a whole thing about it. Like he was asked like 3 questions about this and like kept going and going and going about it. But the snippet Brian Robb put in the tweet was, I was telling him to get his ass out the way. But here's the clip of what happened and what Jaylen did. To quote, get his ass out of the way right here. In Jaylen's defense.
No, then if you let it keep going, you see him say it.
Wait, does he say it on the way back?
Yeah. After Tatum slaps the shit out of him. Get your ass out of the way.
Get your ass out of the way. Jaylen talked about that after the game too. Jayson hitting him, and he goes out. Yeah, I'm gonna get him back for that. And Jayson
just beat the shit out of him in game 5.
Yeah, Jayson said. Yeah, I didn't realize how hard I hit him. I guess I've been hitting the weight room too much. So that was a fun interaction. But yeah, no, Jaylen was fired up after he name dropped him too. He goes, that referee Tyler, he's just fucking in the way. I said, get your ass out the way.
That's a heater.
It was very funny. I'm writing about the offense after the game, and so I asked Joe and Jayson about basically like how have you like the aggressiveness with the Cavs, basically running you guys off the 3-point line, and they gave very similar responses, and you could probably fucking write it with AI, but I'll read it anyways, just because it's my angle and this is, I guess, my podcast. But Joe said, let me see, I gotta find it. God damn it. Sorry,
Got
this is
scrolling to do over there.
I know. This is bad podcasting by me. Oh yeah, Joe said again, it's never really been about the 3-point shot. It's been about taking the best shot, and regardless of that, we've been fighting to take really good shots, and that's the most important thing. And so, again, AI answer. But Jayson Tatum, that's not transcribed yet. But Jayson Tatum was basically like the same thing. He just said the same shit as Joe. He's like, yeah, we're fighting for the best thing we can get. Credit to them, their defense, et cetera, et cetera. But I do think it is, I don't know the word for it. Not disappointing, but like jarring to see how easily the Cavs defense has shaken them from their offensive identity. Like they've played the same way the whole year. I don't think it's gonna be hugely impactful moving forward. One, because I think they will just naturally figure it out and learn and adapt. And two, because they fucking won the game anyway, so they did find a way around it and it was okay. And also three, if Porzingis comes back, I think that will drastically change things. And they just missed a bunch of shots, but I don't know. It was. I don't like that they only took 32 threes tonight. Like that's like half the reason why they lost game 2 against the Heat, because they got outshot from 3 and they didn't do that this time. But I'm not a fan of how this offense has been going. It just felt like a lot of ISO and mismatch hunting overly so. I will say they improved on the one screen and will rock from there from game 3. That was frustrating to watch. But it just did feel like they settled too much at times in this game, even though it felt like in game 3 it was a lot of settling for the middies and bad step backs, and this one it was we're going to drive, and it would just be settling for mismatch, but they ended up driving on it, and I think that's how they capitalized it more so, which is a good thing.
If you ask me, that's how they should definitely attack mismatches. Like if you're going to do the mismatch hunting, that's how you do it. Attack. Because the whole point of attacking a mismatch is to put pressure on the defense. You're not putting pressure on the defense if you're taking fall away mid-range shots. Now, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, Tatum took a couple, made a couple, and he made his presence felt, and it was good. Then it opened it up for the drive, and things got going for the rest of the guys. I believe Holiday was the beneficiary of a couple driving kicks, at least at the beginning. And as the quarter went on, they ended up getting the dagger from a nice little driving kick from Tatum, attacking a mismatch off a pick from, I think Derek White came up and set the pick and gave him Garland, and then Jalen was open. But the point is, you got the small guy on you. Go inside. That's the whole point. That's why you're attacking Garland. It's not so you can shoot over the top of him, as pretty as it looks. It's to force the issue. And as ugly as it was at times, I think they did the best job that we've seen them do of it so far.
Yeah, I guess that's the one positive from tonight about the offense, but just like do that and use it to create threes. And I again, like I said at the start, I think a big part of it is the Cavs are just living with the one-on-one drives and staying home on the 3-point shooters, and so there is that mix. But I think they're forcing the Celtics to play a low-scoring offense style, and the Celtics just need to respond with good defense, which we can talk about that too. Like Joe was asked about it after the game, like how they performed in clutch time, and he said, "I thought everyone talks about clutch offense, but I thought our clutch defense was great, and I do think they did a better job of their clutch defense." But like you said at the start of the show, it felt like there were stretches in this game where they played great lockdown defense, and then there were stretches in this game where they just fucking melted into the floor and let the Cavs do whatever they wanted. And so it was frustrating to see both of those. And I think the drop defense got torched a little bit too much again. I thought their transition defense was pretty bad again, which was a trend from games 2, especially when they lost.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It was a mixed bag.
One thing I'll say about the offense, and then we can wrap or talk about something else. So you mentioned the shot differential, 94 for Cleveland, 78 for Boston. Differential of 3 made shots, 3 made threes as well. But then you get a little, let's say that they made up 12 shots from the free throw line because they took 24 free throws. So then they're only 4 shots behind Cleveland. And they won the battle on the glass big time. They out-rebounded them by 16 points. The turnovers were the big culprit today. So I think that the Celtics can play the offense that you saw today, and it shouldn't be a problem as long as they tighten things up. I don't think what you saw today should be the standard, but I think they're making progress. This is what we've been talking about for a while, or at least me, screaming to the heavens saying, when the threes aren't falling, there needs to be something else that they can turn to. I don't think they need to abandon the threes. I think the threes are great. I think the threes played a huge role in how they played and dominated the regular season. But to see them be able to win a game tonight, despite going without a field goal for 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, they built a 15-point lead early on in that quarter through the offense that they played in this game. It's not a bad thing. This is like a learning process, and Missoula and the boys are going to learn from it because that's been their mantra all year, is to grow and move from game to game. So this is a nice thing for them to keep in their back pocket. It's the slider in the pitch mix instead of just the fastball at the end of the games. I think we saw something good today, even if it wasn't pretty. Hey, gang, let me tell you a little something about Game Time. The NBA playoffs have arrived. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Who doesn't want to get in on the fun? With Game Time, you can experience it with your own eyes. Get yourself great seats to games with even greater prices. That's right. You can save when getting your tickets with Game Time. It's an authorized ticket marketplace of the NBA, which makes getting those playoff tickets even faster and easier. Plus, the prices on Game Time usually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. Who doesn't love to save a little bit of money? I certainly do. I used Game Time back in March when I took the lady to a game. We went to see the Celtics play our Pistons, and it was great. I could look and see what the seat view would be just using the app. Didn't have to be surprised when I showed up. Plus, you do get those last-minute deals. They have the flash deals and zone deals. Zone deals, which you can choose a section of the arena and let Game Time choose those seats. You'll save a little bit of money that way. You can download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, that's code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
I don't like, it's twofold for me because I don't like how easily they were thrown off their best offense, but I also like how they were able to adapt and win in a different way. I just worry that this number of free throws, this efficiency from the field, isn't sustainable because they made a lot of tough shots tonight. Like they made a lot of tough shots inside. They made a lot of tough middies, like the ones Tatum made, like I mentioned. I think on the flip side, Horford will start making shots again like that. Math will even out. We didn't even talk about it. Derek White is just like non-existent now. He's doing what he can. The Cavs look like, ironically, Richard White messaged me about it. His take, quote, offense changed, impact shooters like Sam and Derek. Easy to see why their percentages drop. Plus, Cavs not giving Derek looks. Ball went to Allen. They never rotated. Live with the Al jumper. Like, it does feel like they are taking the three-point line, and because of that, like Mr. White mentioned, Derek White's not going to be as effective.
Listen,
I don't know. It's weird.
If you're going to get 27 combined from Jrue and Peyton Pritchard, I'll live with 1 of 6 from Derek White. Derek White, by the way, whose one make was a big one. Made it 3 when the Celtics were kind of reeling. So shout out to him for stepping up in the big moment. But yeah, I mean, I see what you mean with the maybe the shot making isn't sustainable. But if you force the issue like this, the way they did, you will get foul calls, or you should. There's the danger of, palms up, we didn't get the call, and then they don't get back, and it unravels. But your concern about the getting thrown off the initial game plan, that's what teams are going to do to them up until the finals. Miami did it in the game 2 that the Celtics lost. Even though Miami shot the lights out, you did see a lot more mismatch hunting. If you go back, like that's what we talked about after the game. And game 2 in this one, it felt like it was more of just Cleveland bringing the heat. But the Celtics adjusted and they managed to win. So It's not the worst. It's not. You don't want this. Should not be the primary attack, but it's good that they have it.
It's a good thing, I think. In the end, it's I you know how you say you can't rely on the officials. You can't rely on the officials. Like I get that aggressiveness will bring foul calls, but I wish you could work for better shot quality in general. That's my only gripe.
Sure. There were stretches where my dad and I were like, everything's tough.
This has been Noah's biggest thing too. She's like talked about it with like a lot while we've been on the trip. Drop defense. She fucking hates it. I see like the value a little bit. It's getting torched. It's getting torched, and the Celtics have done a good job of playing over the screens and contesting from behind, especially like they did in Miami a lot. Pritchard did a good job on Hero, but it's giving them a lot of space to work with. And I'll say this: Jalen Brunson's gonna fucking murder drop defense if they get there. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
If they get there, but Halliburton also will, for what it's worth.
That's what I said. Yeah. Either team. I don't know, man.
I would love it to be Halliburton.
I really don't want to go to Indiana.
No, I hear you. At least it won't be the most expensive place to go.
I know, but I would save on flights if it's New York because I could drive.
You take the train too.
Yeah, I think we would take the train. We would be pumped about that. I will say though, I said I didn't want to come to Cleveland. Cleveland's kind of nice. I had a good time in Cleveland. It's like a nice. The city's cool. We did play pickup. We played pickup ball. I got all list everyone off. There were 9 of us. It was me, Kari, Bobby Kravitsky, and Bobby Manning, Justin Turpin, Kari Thompson, Noah Dalzell, John Corrales, Richie LeMay, who was CLNS's photography guy, and Josue Pavone. Did I get everybody? I think I hit everybody. We played pickup. We played 4-4 half court. It's very small court, so like there was no corner 3. Like it was very close. Yes, it was a health track court. Yeah, it sucked because we're playing 4-4 and there's no spacing, and we played half court because there's somebody on the other half of the court. Yeah, so it was just all packed. I guarded Corrales for the first couple games. I played him pretty well, I thought, and then Kari beat my ass. It happens, man. He's fucking huge. It got to the point where, so they're like, I'm down low trying to like fight for positioning with Kari, and they are up at the top, like not even checking the ball, and they're like, "What's the score? Is it this?" And I just scream, I'm like, "Hey, figure it out! I'm dying!" Because Kari's just like, "Shut."
Yeah,
I'm like, "God fucking damn it, pick something." But it was good. I hit a couple good ones. I got past Kari one. He gave me a little shove, and I finished anyways. Respect. There was another one where, yeah, he's there, but he's got his headphones on. There's another one where I am talking. He just goes talking about how I whooped. Can you hear him?
Yeah.
But there's another one where I had the ball. Somebody set a screen for me, and Noah tried to like pick up on it, but I like spun moved past her, Euro step past Corrales, and finished. I should have quit there. You're
good on the drive. I truly think you're pretty good on the drive.
I'm just out of shape and slow.
You gotta start going for walks. Change your life. You go out for a walk, put on a podcast, they'll like make your day. I've been doing it.
I know. My problem is I was fucking exhausted. So like the last game, I lost every game, first of all. It was bad showing. It's tough. First 3 games, I was with some combination of Kari, Richie, Josue, and Bobby. We kept losing, so we kept shooting to see who stays on and who's off. Me and Richie's pick and roll was elite, by the way. Shout out Richie. Like we were kicking ass. I was like Draymond to his Steph. I was talking to Noah today. She goes, 1/2 of my body hurts because you and Kari just kept fucking screaming me. But we lost those games, and I was guarding Corrales in those games. And we lost. We couldn't score, whatever. And then Corrales left, and so I jumped in with Bobby Kravitsky, Noah, and Justin, who are on Corrales' team, and I had to guard Kari, and then he just kicked my ass. That was so I lost every game. We even played 2-on-2. It was me and Turpin versus Bobby and Noah, and we lost those 2. So I literally did not win. I literally did not win a single fucking game. I will say, Turp, Justin, shooter, motherfucker.
How did you lose that?
Noah,
brother, just shots. Post up.
Nah, Bobby's a strong motherfucker, dude. He Ludort. Yeah. I couldn't. I tried, but we spent the whole podcast criticizing drop defense, but I had to drop to cover Bobby on the roll. And as soon as Justin got screened, Noah just did a fucking step back and made everything, which is annoying. It was rough. It was fun. I had a good time. This is me complaining, but I
can't wait to play you guys.
Beat my ass.
I was awful in the men's league game yesterday, so
yeah, you guys lost. I heard. Fucking bums.
Yeah, we lost. We had 5 people. 4 of us played bad. Not winning formula.
Also, insight on How About Them Celtics. ESPN just records on their phones. Like I see Tim Bontemps right now on the court. It's just him, a tripod, and his phone, just hanging out, recording. So if he can do it, anybody can do it. Shout out
MMJ Tim Bontemps.
Respect. MMJ
multimedia.
Yes.
Journalist. Yeah.
Somebody said that earlier today too, and I had the same reaction. Like what? But then I figured it out. If we miss anything else, this isn't gonna be a full pod, unfortunately. But I think we got most.
Bing
of it.
bong 2-2.
Bing bong.
Wolves Nuggets not dead.
2-2.
Yep. And
Mavs Thunder. What's the score?
The Mavs are gonna go up 3-1. At least when I was watching.
They're up 9 in the third quarter.
They're at home.
Damn. Oh, Celtics undefeated on the road now.
Yep.
Maybe be better at home. You're welcome. I did it for you.
Win at home. I'm not complaining about the road. I'm not taking it for granted. When the summer rolls around, I just want to watch fucking home game highlights, please. That's really what I want. I want to be able to watch a good game at the Garden. That's what I want.
All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like. Let us know your thoughts. Email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. And go check out First the Floor late night. Go watch the replay. Sam's going to jump on after this. Shut up. I'll let you wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with something new, 5 a.m. We're here for you. Whether it's game recaps or the full pods, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays. This one is not full because Jack's got the restrictions on the laptop over there. But usually we got you with an hour plus of content. We also have other videos in between, and we have live streams. Talking C's typically Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings. It gets a little shaky with the shoot-around schedules here in the playoffs, but we'll try and put something together for you. Celtics Roundtable should be live Tuesdays around 6. Not sure about tomorrow because the gang will be driving back, so I'm not sure if you guys will be back for then. But, I mean, I guess we could go on later or whatever.
We're probably it'll just depend on when we're back. We can play.
Depends when you guys get back.
We'll be together, so we can figure it out.
Yeah. And pregame, half hour before, we had an excellent pregame today. Set the tone. We're on Spotify and Apple too. If you follow us there, you're going to get the full pods and game recaps right into your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can find us via email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. You know you got something to say. today. So reach out. Whether it's the game or Rat List, we want to hear from you guys. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, just to name the pod. Our streams are there. They're on YouTube and they're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack's Money NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco's